We're talking wrestling, living the dream. From Tokyo to London, across the globe, respecting the craft, we're in the know. No gimmicks or fakes, just pure passion and skill. The best talents from every wrestling hill. We dive deep into the stories behind the ring. Respecting the craft, making the fans sing. Respect the craft, making the fans sing. Respect the craft, respect the fight. We bring the best, we can't hide.
And we are live. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Respect the Craft. This is episode number 327, and I'm joined by the young upcoming duo, the Prospectz. We got Collin Parker and young Gordy himself, Jayy Alfredo. What's going on, gentlemen? What's going on?
What's the word, Ray?
What's up, Ray?
Not much, guys. Not much. Glad to finally that we can do this. It's been a little time coming here to finally get you guys on. But I'm glad to finally get to speak with you both because we have a lot to discuss. There's a lot to look into and a lot to look forward to in the future here. But before we get into all that, because there's a lot to discuss, I have to ask you both the question I ask everyone that comes on. You heard the name of the podcast. It's called Respect the Craft. So for each of you, when you hear that term, the craft, what does that mean to you?
Jay, you want to start it off, or?
Yeah, I'll start it off. How I look at what respect the craft means is respecting the blood, sweat, and tears that not only ourselves, but every single wrestler in this world puts in that ring to entertain everybody. Respect the craft is respecting the wrestlers who put everything into this business, decades, and leading the up-and-coming talents like me and Collin. Respecting the craft is respecting the business, respecting all your peers, respecting everyone in the building, and it's all about respecting the business.
There you go.
I don't think I could have said it better. Realistically, the craft, now personally, the craft to me is everything. Because everything you do has a craft to it. Whether it's wrestling, whether it's any other sport, art, you name it, there's a craft to it, right? So there's a level of respect between everything, and everything comes together.
Oh, that works. That works right there. So now I got to get into the mindset of what made you both decide, you know what? This isn't just something I love watching. This isn't just something I am a fan of. This isn't just a little hobby. I need to get into those ropes. I need to step into that squared circle. What was it for you guys that made you finally make that click that I need to get in there? I need to be a part of this craft.
All right, so I'll start this one, Jay, because my story is kind of not heavy, but it's more like a core memory to me. So I had to be maybe 6 or 7 years old, and it's like Christmas. And my grandfather, he asked me, he goes, Collin, what do you want to do when you grow up? I go, Papa, I want a main event WrestleMania. He laughs, he chuckles, he goes, Collin, that's a 1 in a million chance. And I go, I guess I'm 1 in a million. So it's always been something like that stuck with me. It's like I have to prove a point. Like I have to make this the end game, the end goal. It's to get between those ropes and show people what I can do. Because I played basketball growing up, and I never felt like I look the part. But like in wrestling, you don't have to feel like you look the part because wrestling comes in all shapes, sizes, and everything else. So it's more like I felt comfortable getting into that ring. I felt comfortable doing the moves, working with people. And it kind of became a matter of trust within myself. It's like I feel like I trust myself here more than I do anywhere else. So when it comes to it, it's something that's always been a drive.
Gotcha. How about you, Jay? What was it that made you have that click? Like, you know what? I need to get in this.
You know, I've always been a wrestling fan my whole life. And the journey kind of started around 2022 when I was just a super fan, attending so many shows that I could possibly attend, meeting everybody's favorite wrestler. And I've realized that I've spent so much time being a fan when I could have spent that time being a wrestler. And it just clicked in my head. Why won't I just do it? I've had conversations with a lot of people in the business. During intermission, I'll be out in the front, and there'll be a referee or a wrestler, and I've always asked them, how is it to be in the business? And they will always give me good advice. And some of them would tell me, just do it. And it stuck with me because I could do it. And I had the balls enough to go in that ring, take a couple bumps, and now, boom, bow, here I am.
Boom,
the
bow.
hottest up-and-comer.
Boom, bow.
It's all about, if you have something in your mind that you think you could do it. There's nothing stopping you.
Nothing
stopping you at all.
There we go. Look at that. We got the good bro Smiley in the chat. Good
Smiley.
evening.
That's funny. I was just I was just watching the Ink Master episode where a man has a very similar tattoo to Smiley on there, and I thought about him right away.
Yeah, it's
weird.
I don't know why. He's very uncanny. Like, it looks like
yeah,
crazy that two people can have the same tattoo. I don't know.
I mean, Smiley's looks better, but that's just an opinion.
As we continue here, you guys finally make that decision, make those choices of, you know what, we got to get in this somehow. We have those dreams, we have those aspirations. Now talk about finding the right place to do it, finding the trainer to do it, finding who would be the one to take you guys under their wing, and it being none other than a very great innovator himself, the legend himself, the Grim Reaper.
You want to take it, or you want me to take it? Because I took the last one.
You go ahead.
All right. So when I was looking, I had all these great options. It was House of Glory, Creative Pro, and I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, House of Glory is there, but then funny enough, I run into the Grim Reaper at a park by my house playing handball. And I get a picture, and then, we're talking a little bit, and he's friends with one of my acquaintances' friends. So I talked to him, and he's like, oh, yeah, he has a school. He runs classes. Like, here's his number. So I was like, okay, let me give him a call. We talked about it. I go one day. Jay remembers my first day, and it was just like, everyone was so welcoming, and it was just like, this is where I have to be. Like, this is where I have to start. And then you think about it, who can teach me more than the guy who's taught them? So you might as well go to the head than to the rest of the table. That's a bloodline reference.
Simply, I want to say the first person to ever put me in the wrestling ring was Uncle Ghost Shadow. Because Ghost Shadow, he knows my mom personally. They go way back in the days. She used to come see him wrestle in the old Elks Lodge. So she had told him that I wanted to be a wrestler. And he told her, we'll make a day and we'll go to the Coliseum gym. And we went to the Coliseum gym. I did not want to get out that ring ever since. And sadly, a couple months later, he got injured in a match, and he was out for a while. So, I never got to have that chance to get back in the ring. But then time goes by, he comes back from injury, and he told me, "Yo, I'll be back in the gym. Slide through whenever you could." And that's when I met the Grim Reaper. I met Adonis Stone, met Rambo, I met the rest of the Loud East crew, and that's how we all became a family. They didn't want to leave that gym ever since. They, like Collin said, they welcomed you with open arms, like you are meant for this. And That's all we do. We all treat each other like family, so we could trust each other in that ring, and we come in and out safe and sound.
Got you. And no, again, you see just how much of that family bond is there. How many of you guys are coming out of now that crop? And it's a huge crop because as we talk about the NYC scene or the tri-state scene, there's a lot of influence when it comes to Reefer, when it comes to Adonis, when it comes to those guys of what they're now touching and what especially Reefer is touched, where you look at just different pillars of that.
Yeah.
When it comes to the old days of FTW, when it comes to now what you guys are doing at the Coliseum, you see that. And again, it's showing that what we're gonna use that bloodline is very deep. So I had to set you guys up for that. But shout out to my boy Isaac in the chat. Shout out
Ike.
Keep that drive up.
Definitely.
Oh, look at that. You mentioned him, and here he is. We got Ghost Shadow in the building. Jay's a legend in the making. Colin's ready for the hypervisual style killers. But definitely agreed. Definitely agreed.
Ghostface in front of killers, but that's just me. I'm a Wu-Tang guy. We'll take it as we roll.
Now we go into that, though. We go into you guys finding that. And again, it's one thing, like you said, both having that reaction of open arms, finding that place to finally get into the ring. What was it for you guys, that moment of like, you know what, this was the right choice? Because it is one thing. It is one thing to make that step, to step in there. It's another to finally commit, like, you know what, this is what we're going to do. Because a lot of people find out the hard way, this isn't for everyone.
This isn't for
So
everyone.
for
Jay,
you guys, what was that moment?
Jay, you take the first.
You know, my first few days of training were hell. Cardio drills is a bitch. Very challenging. But what it taught me is that it's going to pay off in the ring. It's going to pay off for the day I got to go 60 or an hour. It's going to pay off for times I got to go 30, which is not bad. But it's very challenging. It's not easy. And everybody thinks it's funny games when it's not. When we risking our bodies, having to trust each other. And most people come here with only a few months of training and think they could get bookings here and there. It's not easy. You gotta take it slow and study and earn the opportunities.
All right, I just want to let
what
you
we've
know.
been doing.
I had my first match 6 months in.
You're different. You're well listened. We wouldn't be in this predicament right now if you wasn't well trained.
Yeah, it's definitely that head at the table. That's treating us well. My moment, it didn't come in training. Actually, it came in, I want to say, my third match.
Okay.
So that would be February. It'd be maybe 8 months in.
Okay.
And I don't know if you were there, Ray, but Jay was getting a purple nurple. Because why would you let that happen? And it's us versus Risen Nasty, and I break through. I hit the smiley springboard, right? And I hit the knee strike, and I land, and I sit there, and I slowly raise my head up, and I turn to look at the crowd, and I'm like, okay, this is it.
Gotcha.
Because that, like, the raw emotion, that match alone, that's my favorite match we've had. That raw emotion that came after that, it was like euphoric.
Yep.
And it's like everything I've put myself through for the past 8 months, that's like that means something now. Because like you finally hit that point of it's like, this is beautiful. And that's really that was the pinnacle.
Got you. No, and that's a great moment. Like I said, it's that moment finally figuring out, you know what, we're going to keep going here. Because like you said, you could have had that moment of euphoria and be like, you know what, I think I'm good now. Let's just find something else. But no, having that moment of like, we got to keep having that drive. We got to keep having that. Because it's as most say, it's like that drug feeling of like, you know what, I don't want this high to end. So let's do it again and again and again. But shout out to, we got Matt Awesome in the chat here saying you're my guy. We got Adonis Stone in the chat saying the brothers. Matt Awesome saying, keep doing your thing. Who knows? Maybe Loudies will book the Uptown Boys versus y'all.
We want all the smoke, boy. We want all of it.
We want the smoke.
We got Isaac saying, about to watch your debuts at the Loudies show on YouTube right now. Well, Isaac, watch it after this. Then you'll be able to keep watching the interview because you'll be able to hear. You want to hear this and then also hear that because a certain someone is on that commentary. Because I was going to bring that up, Isaac. Give me a second to segue, damn it. But when it comes to that debut, though, when it comes to that now, you guys both part of that gauntlet that was had at Loudies Wrestling. We have a certain someone on commentary. I don't know who was on commentary.
I think it was Julius Smokes.
Julius Smokes was there. I know. KG was there. I remember. But there was a third person. I don't know who else was on commentary. Someone was on commentary. But he might be good at this. I don't know. But I
don't remember, so I can't tell you.
But when it comes to that debut, though, just talk us through for both of you, just the feelings going to that, and then just that moment of getting to be out there at the Mecca.
Start us off.
The raw feeling of making that first entrance is the best feeling ever. To come out that curtain and all the flashing lights are flashing on you. And you got that camera looking right at you. And everybody who paid their hard-earned money is watching you about to make your entrance. And the amount of chance that we got that day was immaculate. And it was the best feeling ever. And going through that match motivated me to the most.
You could use any photo.
Hey, that's a legendary photo right there.
You could use us hitting the flapjack.
That's a legendary photo right there.
I forgave you. It's fine. But damn.
No.
It was the first one I could find of him doing offense in the match. So I was like, let's use this photo.
There's us doing the flapjack on Benny Candela. You could use that one.
Oh, man. But for you, Collin, when it comes to that match, though, that feeling of getting to make that debut at the Mecca, especially both of you guys being a part of that, getting to be in there as well with the Benny Candelas, being in there with Mr. James, being in there with Jimi Hendrix. Just what did that feel for you?
I hit the curtain to the sounds of Wu-Tang Clan, Ain't Nothing to Fuck With. And I come out, my head down. And the moment I pick my head up, everything, it's just, wow. And I was like, damn, this is going to be fun. So it's like having that moment, it was like, I'm going to use the word probably every time you mention us competing or anything. It was euphoric. It was like I was on another level. Like I've been in some like energetic places. Like I've been to a Travis Scott concert in the pit. I was like, yo, this is great. But like going out there, getting into a ring in front of people who pay their hard-earned money to see us, it's like I'm gonna make their money's worth. I'm gonna do what I can to make sure they get what they paid for. And that's every time we step into a ring. We always want to deliver on every promise we make.
Not you. No, there you go right there. We got some more in the chat. We got Anthony Gamble saying shout out to the Prospectz. We got Justin saying, y'all, I got to ask, what was it like to hear how loud and electric that crowd was for you guys when y'all fought Riz and Nasty? Oof.
So I'm going to take this to the theme song because the theme song was very important in that night for us. Me and Jay had been scrambling for weeks to figure out what theme to use. And I'm going through my playlist and I'm like, nah, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. And then there's this song I haven't heard in a long time. It's called Tea Time by Ryan Oakes and Hoodie Allen, sorry. And it was just something about the horns. I was like, hold on. I'm like, okay, yeah, we can do it. And I show it to Jay and Jay's like, I love it. Let's do it. So starting at the theme song, the horns hit. Yeah, they play. I pop out. That pop is amazing. I point to Jay. We didn't completely untimed. I point to Jay, and he comes out the curtain. Beautiful. Perfect sync. High five. Give me a high five. Thank you. But it was just Jay's pop got even louder, and it's like, man, euphoric.
That's gonna be the word of the day,
It's
folks.
gonna be the word of the day.
Euphoric.
Can we make the graphic to say "word of the day" euphoric? I'll do it if you want. But definitely otherworldly, especially to step in there with someone as talented as Nino and Barton. It was just, we knew we were in for a fight that night, and we'll get to that later, hopefully. But it was definitely a fight.
Yeah,
definitely a fight.
No, we're definitely gonna get there. But for you, Jay, just what was that feeling, man, of getting that reaction, especially now that you guys are doing it as a duo?
You know, it was the most challenging moment of my life, being able to have a match with two seasoned tag teams who've been making a name overseas, and to be in the same ring with somebody as Chris Barton, who is extremely talented in his own way.
Props to Chris Barton.
Props to Chris Barton. He chopped the shit out of me. But
you didn't hit him back. I want to point that out. You didn't hit him just as hard.
But being in that match was very challenging, and to have the crowd on our side, it defeated all the odds of the negativities that I had in that match. It motivated me to chop the crap out of Chris Barton after he chopped me. It motivated me to take him to the ringside, go ring around the rosy around the ring, and hit him with the most devious cross body.
You almost broke his leg.
We proved that we can hang with the big dolls, and this is the only beginning of what's to come, and we want all the competition.
No, we want all the smoke.
We want all the smoke. We're going to reef it up.
That's all you. I'll do that. I'll do it, yeah.
He's the straight
you.
No, but it works, though. And again, you got to love, like I said earlier, when you look at the people that have been influenced by Reefer as well, Chris Barton is one of those guys. One of those guys that also had that influence, had those teachings, and to see you guys go in there with him, again, it's going to be something you're going to see that chemistry there. You're going to see those different shades and different styles in there. It's going to be great. But as we continue, I also want to show Anthony Gamble saying, always love, fellas. We got Andrew here with the emoji. Matt also saying Ray's always trying to start something between teams. It was just a picture. I got another picture to show in a little bit. Come on, Matt. I'm not trying to do nothing. Matt's always accusing me of things. I don't know why. Donna Stone saying the best new tag team of the year. We got PJ Savage saying shout out to the future.
Shout out PJ.
We got Casey Lighton saying well, Collin and Gordy. Let us know when y'all want to run round 2.
We are not running. We are here.
We're here.
We will always be here.
We got PJ saying I need that one-on-one with Gordy.
Let me know.
So we got Justin saying Collin jumping off the stage through the door, fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But so to show that I do have a picture for both, we do have we got Collin making the dive for that match. So see, it's again, both of you just hitting each other though. This is where this is where it worked out. Just again, it's just the little seeds though. It's the little seeds of everything, but it planted into a nice blossoming flower here with the duo. But I want to then get to that though, because we see that debut, you guys facing off against each other. Where do we come up with the idea of how about we do this as a duo? How about we become a tag team here and let's create the Prospectz? Where did that idea come from for you two?
Comes back to the Coliseum.
Yeah.
I mean, training together. So, story. First day of my training, I walk in and, Reef's teaching the more seasoned in the class, and he's like, Jay, go help him. So me and Jay are on the outside, and Jay's teaching me how to put on a headlock. Okay. So me and Jay have always had that little connect from the start. And it's like, the more we train, the more like we go through the motions, it's like this feels a little natural. This feels a little fluent, if I may. So we were like, we might as well. I mean, we already work together so closely at the gym. You might as well, roll with it on the road. And I mean, rolling with it on the road has worked out pretty well for all of us. So, I mean, there's only one way up. That's how we get there. It's together.
Gotcha.
You know, quite frankly, I look at Collin like my little bro. I see a lot of potential in him. I seen it the second I seen him the first time. And when Reefer gave me the opportunity to help him out, I kind of took him under my wing.
God love NYC, man.
You know, I wanted to guide him the way I was guided.
Yeah.
I wanted him to get the same amount of success that I was gonna get. And you know, believe it or not, Collin is always 2 steps ahead of everyone. You know, he was learning and learning and learning every week and week and week. And then when Reef gave him the green light, I was more excited to be in the match with him than anyone else.
I hate you. I hate you.
Oh, you love to see it, but no, look at that. We got Chris Barton in the chat as well, saying the boys.
The brother.
Look at that. See Jay looking mad wholesome. He does.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
He's all nice and just. This is what he's not as savage looking. Right now, he's calm, cool, collected.
I'm calm, cool, collected right now. You know?
Sounds similar
Not
to how
hungry.
me and Dom met. Nah, definitely, man.
The only difference between us and you and Dom is that we don't plan on going anywhere. Y'all went y'all separate ways. We're not going anywhere. I love you both. I'm not going to pick a side on that one. But we'll be here. We'll always be here. And when you're ready to run the ones, Mr. Barton, I know he's ready, but I'm ready too. I don't back down from a challenge.
There you go. We got Adonis Stone saying family first. Oof, there we go. Barton saying interesting statement there. Then I see now Matt Awesome's gonna say I'm starting friction again. We never know. Again, sometimes unfortunately, how the saying goes, only one can make it to the tippy top. So we shall see. We shall see.
The one that's gonna make it is the Prospectz.
There you go.
We are one.
See, that's what
Like the Nexus.
we like to. That's what we like to see. We like to see. Let me make a phone call. Oh,
Make the phone call.
We did, Collin.
Make the phone call.
well then.
Man.
Martin, don't call me right now because I'm a little busy. I'm a little busy, Barton. Don't call me right now. But I do want to get into this though, because as much as I joked around, getting to call both of your guys' first match truly is an honor. Truly is an honor, just because getting to see you guys and get to see the future, like many are saying it here in the chat, getting to see you guys make that debut, and now getting to see the growth of both of you. Because not only did I get to call that match over the weekend, I got to call 2 matches that would feature Jayy Alfredo here, and the Saturdays getting to feature both of you, even though unfortunately Collin did not get to fully compete, but still somehow got physical in that match. Yeah. Triple threats do that to you. Triple threats do that to you.
I was there. Yeah.
But when it comes to that, though, and getting to see the growth you guys are having, it is showing, though, how much that commitment is there, how much that drive is there, how much, pun intended, that respect for the craft is there. So I am really glad to see where you guys are going with your careers and just seeing where the sky's the limit for you both, man. Sky's truly the limit for you both.
Appreciate that. Appreciate
Definitely up from here.
It's only up from here.
Only up.
So now we have to play this because it's a little difficult, just because, again, you guys are still very, very young in your careers, and there's a shorter list to pick from. So it might make it easier, might make it harder, but we'll see. For you guys, for your careers so far, what would be a match, it could be individually or as a duo, that you would say defines said careers so far for each of you? So for Collin, a match for you, Gordy, a match for you, that you would say defines your career so far.
Jay, start us off. I feel like we have the same ideas here. For at least our tag matches. I don't know about your singles matches.
Yep. I like how he threw Gordy
Hard.
right into the heat right here because I
Yep.
know this is the hard question. That's
Yep.
like,
It's the hard question.
So if you want some time, I can kick it off.
Yeah.
It's either us versus Risen Nasty from Loud East, Wild East,
okay.
or us versus The Wave from Project Codename Wicked Ways. That's not on YouTube yet.
Okay.
But with Risen Nasty, it was just everything was there. It was the crowd, it was the moment, it was the opponents, it was the way it worked out. And even in defeat, we still had a great night. Because we got 2 new brothers out of that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then with The Wave, that's family.
It's family.
Like, hands down, everything away, that's family. Stone and Rambo, 2 amazing people. 2 guys who walked us through everything when we needed it. Whether it's wrestling or whether it's life. I've went to Stone for personal issues as well. I've traveled with Rambo. Like, for the Shadow show. Me and Rambo, we spent the day together. We got food, came to the show. We were together all day. That's brother. But to be into the ring with such amazing people that you know are gonna get their job done, as long as you get your job done, it falls into place. And I love Tetris. So the way everything it was amazing. What are you thinking over there, Jay?
I do want to say the Wave match was very, very heartwarming for us because we're in there with family. We're in there with people that know us very, very well, and we know them very, very well. And I'm really hoping that that wasn't the first and only match that we have, and we have many more to come. Who knows? We all may team up together. We all may have best of 7 series matches together, but we are gonna make magic together.
Jay, let me get a thumbs up again.
No, now it's not gonna do it. Oh, there it goes. I was gonna say, watch. Now that you're trying to force it, now that you tried to force it, it's not gonna happen. But I love that it still did. Like, that's perfect.
I love iPhones. So fun,
man.
Oh man. But no, yeah, it is great to see. And no, like you said, that chemistry is gonna be there. It's gonna make those moments. It's gonna make those matches. And definitely, I can imagine if Adonis is still in the chat, I know he's not gonna be far from wanting to go out at it again. And like I said, there's a lot of opportunity. We've seen a lot of people were at that Shadow show this past weekend that could have some opportunities, or even at Win. We saw what happened this weekend. So we never know. We never know what could happen there. Look at that. We got Hemi Hendrix in the building saying my nephews. We got
that's Diddy's best friend. Hemi. Oh,
party like a Hemi party.
ECOD. We're gonna keep that low. ECOD is on the low.
Oh, come on. You can't do that on a podcast now. You know I'm gonna ask you about that. You can't say it's on the low.
In the words of someone's favorite people. I just can't. Just can't. That's something that will be unveiled in time.
Oh, come on. You can't do that.
In time. Just stay seated.
Sounds good on paper.
It sounds amazing on paper.
It hasn't been printed out yet.
All right, all good. I'll be waiting. I'll be patient here. You know, I had to try to ask. Come on, it is in my journalistic.
As a journalist, I understand.
I got you. It's okay.
But as the journal, I can't.
So it's all good. It's all good, man. But now I gotta ask this. This is more for Jay here. So we're gonna ask him for you because you do have that name that was bestowed by the legend himself, by the man that said on commentary, Mr. Julius Smokes. So to be christened that, to get that name, Young Gordy, how does that feel for you, brother? Because again, that's putting some big shoes to fill.
You know, it kind of all started with a lot of people calling me Andre the Giant, but I've always got a lot more Terry Gordy compliments, and I try to compare the two, and I've seen Terry Gordy in myself a lot. You know, someone who is pretty big but can move very fast. I want to show that I could be the lightest of the heavyweights, that I could move as fast as your favorite big man. I want to show that the Bam Bam in me is a different type of Bam Bam. And I'm going to show that every single time I'm in the ring. Whether it's Loud East, whether it's out in Jersey or New York, I'm going to prove to the world that there's a new Gordy in town.
Gotcha. I'm so glad though, because it is no secret here. You both are still very young, so I'm so glad that you knew who Terry Gordy was. Because if not, it's like kids.
No, nobody does their research.
I was like, they better know who this guy is.
We are very well educated.
I am glad, because I can imagine what the conversation would have been with Reefer after, like, oh, you kids don't know nothing. But
yeah, no.
Shout out to the bro Josh Alba in the chats. I don't know who this is for, because he's just screaming Santa in the chat.
I don't know, but how you doing, Josh?
Yo,
XVPW.
yo, shout out to the guy. What's going on? What's going on?
I got
y'all?
big news when it comes to XVPW. Hopefully soon you'll be seeing the Prospectz in XVPW. For those who don't know, hope you don't mind if I plug it right.
Plug away, man.
XVPW is a virtual pro wrestling company based in WWE 2K games that I've had the privilege and honor to be a part of, not once but twice before. And I've recently been working on Jayy's character so we can get into this together.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Man, I wish I had the time still to be able to play 2K like that. It's been a minute since because I used to do a lot of universe and all this, and now it's like, yeah, I got no time to do it.
I've been working on Jayy's character for almost a month and a half because of how busy I've been.
Man, I used to make so many, like that was the one thing I would do on 2K was make a bunch of like indie customs. Like I would just make everyone like I would work around with, I would make your custom.
Yeah.
There was a time I probably would have made y'all like that. And now it's like, I got no time.
So
I got no time.
Funny story. My current gear, I don't know if you've seen it. It's the blue, black, gold, and red.
Yep.
I made that in 2K first, and I've used it for maybe 3 years in the game. So the transition from that to being a real gear was like, this is it. This is when it comes to gear, this is what I'm set on.
The gear design right there.
Yeah, I made it. So Jayy got gear to match, finally. So we're going to debut that hopefully sometime soon. I made that into, like, everything I make in the video game before I make it into real life when it comes to gear.
Gotcha. There you go. There you go. We got Hemi saying, come to the Hemi part.
Oh,
if I was invited, I'll be there. I'll bring the baby oil.
Yo, it's thanks to Ramundo. I got a Matt McIntyre. Yeah, man. I used to try to make everyone. If they were around in the tri-state scene, I used to try to make everyone on 2K. No matter
he has
what.
A mittens called too.
Man. But as we continue here, now we got to go into this because you guys have gotten a chance to square in there with certain teams. But now we got to go into that list. And I know the list is going to be long. So let's narrow it down to 5. Because I feel like this could be a whole nother podcast of guys you guys would like to face as a duo. But if we can narrow it down to 5 teams, and then we'll do, even if you guys want to do individual who you guys would like to face. But as far as the tag team, who are 5 teams you two want to face?
All right, I'm going to elaborate on this question. Is it realistic dream teams? Or
so we can do 4. Let's do 4 realistic, and then that 1 dream team.
Okay,
that's fair.
So, one team we really want to tangle with are the Backseat Boys.
Okay.
Very, very, very well rooted for the Backseats.
Gotcha.
Sinners and Saints is another.
Okay.
Main events up there.
Okay.
Jayy, who else did we talk about?
We haven't mentioned the Audacity in a while.
We haven't.
There you go.
Audacity.
Yeah. That's
what is that?
thing we had in mind too.
That's 4.
4. And that one tag team, they pretty sure they just got signed, but our dream team was Motor City Machine Guns. We were dreaming about it, but who knows how long that'll take.
Hey, it's like I said, it's one of those, put the goal out there, man. You never know what could happen. A little while ago, I would have never thought I would get a chance to speak to Alex Shelley like that on here. Collin was in the chat for that one, so he got to see when I spoke to Alex Shelley.
I was in class to start that one.
I remember he tells me in the locker room, I think it was at Loudy's, and he's like, yeah, man, I was in class watching. I'm like, you probably shouldn't. What are you doing?
I passed the class. We're good.
Hey, there you go. That's all that's important, as long as the grades worked out. Oh, Justin saying, I would love to see the Prospectz mix it up with Project Mayhem. Ooh.
Back to OC2.
Well, Justin, which members though?
Yeah, what members?
So is it the good brother Smiley and Elijah Eden? Is it Smiley and Osito? Is it Eden and Osito? Because I know V's kind of in and out at the moment, so I'm not sure. But even if V's still in the mix, do you mean him? Who would you like, Justin? Smiley and Osito. Ooh. Okay.
I'm for all the members of Project Mayhem.
All the members.
Not shy. Like I say, I'm not shy to make a challenge.
Not you.
All
right. Back to the question. You asked singles dream matches?
Yeah, now single as well. So now if there's, again, it could be a few that are on still the radar, and then if you have that dream as well.
Jay, you want to kick it first?
A dream match of mine will have to be Eddie Kingston.
Ooh, okay.
Eddie kind of inspired me in a way, life sucks, but your love for wrestling is what keeps you together. It's what drives you to keep going and to never give up. And I think Eddie stood on that very, very, very.
He stood on business.
He stood on business.
Gotcha.
Mine, hands down, Alex Shelley. You said it. I grew up watching the X Division, man, and he never won the X Division title until his match with Sabin at Genesis. I still watch that match back to this day, and it's that's a man that went so far in his career without hitting WWE that when he got to WWE, he didn't need to be there. That's a man that grinded, and it finally paid off. But not only did he grind to get where he was, he grinded to get where him and his partner were.
Yeah.
And then even beyond the curtain, he's a physical therapist. I signed up for his newsletter so I can get myself back into a spot where I could wrestle before I started wrestling. So it's even the slightest idea of facing Alex Shelley, I would jump at it like that. Or even Sabin too. I watched them both together and separate. Back when Shelley was with Nash and Sabin was kicking in the early X Division against P.D. Williams and Kaz. It was just, those were my guys growing up. And they're my guys now. And those are some people that I'd love to get into a ring with eventually in my career.
Not you. No, that works. And again, like I said, we've seen crazier things happen in the business. We never know what could happen. Especially with how the world of wrestling has been, that some things that you never thought you would see of happening. Like the Motor Machine, Jesus, now I got tongue-tied. The Motor City Machine Gun showing up in the WWE. So it's a situation of you never know. You never know what could happen.
Shout out Motor City and DIY tonight in Brooklyn.
That is a crazy sentence to be able to say now.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to say that match is happening.
Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY for the #1 contendership to the SmackDown Tag Championships.
Which means that the winners face GOD, which is insane.
Yeah.
One Eye Tom.
Oh, what's going on? We got Matthew J in the chat. What's going on? What's going
There we
on?
go.
But no, man, again, like I said, to see what you guys are doing, to see that young hunger there, just to see that, it's great to see. But I have to ask now, with that being said, we talked about guys you guys want to face, those teams that you guys want to face. I have to ask, when it comes to singles at least, is there that hunger to want to face the man that helped you guys get to where you are today? Would you guys want to step in there with the sensei himself, with Grim Reaper?
Jay, I hope you don't mind if I take this one for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
When I say we want the smoke, we want the smoke. Because he taught us everything he knows. It's still teaching us too. So we got the jump on him, but we know he keeps some stuff in his back pocket next to the spliff. So yeah, that's up there, all right.
That's up there for sure.
Definitely.
Gotcha. No, I had to ask because it's one of those where it's like we're mentioning a lot of names, but I can imagine that's always the thought. But it's like maybe not yet. Maybe we'll wait a bit. But no, let's see that hunger's there.
We would love to get into the ring with all our mentors, whether it's Reef, Stone, Chris Cage, Black Zemis, Ghost Shadow. Like, we'd love to get into the ring with all those guys.
Gotcha. Again, I can imagine for those that will listen to it after as well, they're definitely going to want to answer that call eventually because big things happening, guys. Big things happening.
Definitely.
But before we start wrapping this up, I want to remind everyone, if they haven't already, make sure you are following these two on their social medias. Links will be in the description down below. But also follow Collin on his Instagram right there, _Collin_Parker. Follow Young Gordy himself on Instagram right there at Jayy Alfredo. But guys, before I let you go, one final question here for both of you, and that is, what is the end goal?
I think we just got to sit around and see how far we go.
Enjoy the ride. It's not a
Enjoy
marathon, or it's not a sprint, but it's a long ride. Long ride.
Got you.
And it's
Love
only
to
from
see
here.
Got you. Love to see it. Again, stay tuned for these two because, again, that sky's the limit. You will see them very soon. This is why you have to follow them on all their social media to see when they'll be around next in that tri-state area or beyond. You never know where they will show up next. Thank you to Clean Sanchez Media for the great show. Shout out to Mark as well. Thank you to Adonis for coming through, brother. And there you go, saying to live forever. Hey, that's definitely a goal right there. But to everyone watching, thank you guys so much for joining us here. This has been another episode of Respect the Craft. As always, don't forget to be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people. Respect the craft. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, everybody.